Let's take a quick look at the latest from the world of sports, starting with the US Open.
Serena Williams thrashed Alina Svitolina in straight sets to reach the US Open final. The 37-year-old is one match away from equaling Margaret Court's record of 24 career Grand Slam titles. Seeded 8, Williams claimed the first set 6-3 and was even more dominant in the second against the 5th seed from Ukraine. The 6-time US Open champion has not won a Slam title since giving birth to her daughter Olympia in 2017. She has a chance to put that right in New York in the final.
I think today was solid. It definitely wasn't my best tennis, and it's interesting that she knows that. She's a super professional to know that, she probably could have played better as well, and I definitely know I could have played better. So, but, I'm just focusing on not that and just, the next match.
Philippe Gilbert scored a 10th Grand Tour stage win by claiming stage 12 of the Vuelta in Bilbao. The Belgian got himself into an initial 19-rider breakaway and then dropped the rest on the last of 3 third-category climbs. The Deceuninck quick-step rider then held off Alexander Aranburu of Caio Rural and Fernando Barcelo of Euskadi-Murias, who closed the gap in the last 8 kilometres. Gilbert's lead of 8 seconds heading into the last kilometre was reduced to just 2 seconds at the line, with Aranburu claiming second. But the 37-year-old Belgian had done enough to claim his 6th Vuelta stage win. Primoz Roglic retained the overall leader's red jersey. It was really a good stage. It was very difficult. There were a lot of attacks. I wasn't sure I'd win because there were good climbers like Conti, who's familiar with escape groups and often wins. I was happy to see that we were 2 with Tim de Cler, and that made the difference because Tim sacrificed himself for me. He put me in an ideal situation. It meant that I could rest before the last climb. He put in a wonderful effort. It meant we could start the last climb all together, and that put me in an ideal position to win the stage. France maintained their 100% record at the Basketball World Cup as they dominated the Dominican Republic in Shenzhen, China. Having scraped past Jordan and Germany, Vincent Collet's side had no trouble against the Dominican Republic, winning out 90-56. France will carry over their 3 wins into the second round, for which they were already qualified. In order to reach the quarterfinals, they'll need to maintain their form against Australia and Lithuania, who are France's next opponents on Saturday. Have confidence in yourselves. That was Emmanuel Macron's message to France's rugby players as the country's president met Les Bleus ahead of the start of the World Cup in Japan later this month. Macron and Sports Minister Roxana Maracineanu headed to the rugby team's training base at Marcoussis on the outskirts of Paris to offer words of encouragement to Jacques Brunel's team. France have been drawn in a tough group in Japan, alongside Argentina and their traditional foes, England. Germany know they'll go top of Euro 2020 qualifying Group C if they beat the Netherlands in Hamburg this evening. Northern Ireland currently top the section. Germany beat the Dutch 3-2 back in March. If we don't want Holland to be dangerous, then we have to do some things better, especially compared to the second half in Amsterdam. Basically, it has to be said that Holland has improved a lot. They have really improved extremely well. They have dangerous and fast players. They play a different kind of football compared to 4 or 5 years ago. The Dutch are on 3 points after 2 qualifiers, 6 points behind the Germans and 9 adrift of Northern Ireland. They're captained by Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool. I generally think they just have a fantastic team with a lot of quality. Players who play at the highest level at top clubs. They also have a good mix of experience and talent. I think you can see that when you look at the last game that we played against them. The Netherlands can ill afford to lose to the Germans in Hamburg. Britain's Paul Casey holds a one-shot lead after day 1 of the European Open in Hamburg. Chasing a first European Tour victory in 5 years, the 42-year-old mastered the wet and windy conditions, firing a 6-under par 66. That was all the more impressive considering Casey was struggling with a sore throat and the Englishman rated it as one of his rounds of the year. The highest-ranked player in the field is Xander Schauffele, the world number 9, with a 1-over round, dropping 3 shots in his last 8 holes.